Well, say hello to
Why,
our guest
hello
star.
everyone, and welcome back to The Anime Club. I'm Nick Knack, with me is the great Lord Vorn,
Hi.
Realm Shifter,
Oh man, I'm just getting all the attention from these cats today, yeah?
and Seki.
And Peachy.
Good.
Yeah, Peachy, this is not on camera, so...
Oh, but she's sitting so well for once for the camera.
Honestly, Trixie is being heard on camera more than she is.
Probably. Hello, Peachy. Did you hear that? You need to be louder. You need to be louder.
She's just not a loud baby, yeah? She is not.
You're allowed to call something that big a baby.
Yes.
This is my precious child, Brett.
Exactly.
Sorry, Nick Knack. This is my child.
How much is a newborn baby supposed to weigh again?
About that much.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
This is my child that you are making fun of.
So this week we watched a series of OVAs called Yukikaze.
Yep.
Yes.
It was a little odd. Like, I was actually surprised when this came up because I was like, I'd never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare.
Well, it's old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
That's
as
part of the
hell.
reason. It's from 1980. Well, some of them are from 1984.
Damn.
Because there's technically, the novel, the what manga? What is this?
Novel.
Novel. The
Novel.
novel's from 1984.
Oh, okay.
The show itself is from 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if this actually got, like, an airing in 1984, I'm amazed that it got an English dub as well.
Vorn, this was your pick. Where did you actually hear about it? Because this is obviously before our time, more or less, I think, mostly anime.
He also put Area 88 in, though.
Yeah.
True.
This actually
This is
came
his thing.
right after Area 88. I was looking for more stuff based off Area 88. And also, I will say, a lot of the designs that you will see in the novel has actually been changed to, like, the ones that we see in this anime. Because the things they thought was the future then are different from things they thought were future from the anime then. So, yeah. I think, like, the original, like, plane in the novel was more based off the F-15. But this one is not based off that. This is definitely weirder and cooler.
Yeah.
Unlike Area 88, where it made sense for them to use outdated planes and jets and stuff, this is supposed to be futuristic, so
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't just leave it as the older versions.
Yeah.
So this was produced by Studio Gonzo, or Gonzo KK.
I think I've heard of them before.
Well, let's see. They've done Final Fantasy Unlimited, the 2001 Hellsing, Full Metal Panic, Chrono Crusade, Gantz,
Pants.
Gankutsuo, The Count of Monte Cristo, Transformers Galaxy Force Cybertron, Trinity
yeah.
Blood. They did
Right.
Black Cat, which I know.
Yep, I know that one.
Let's see, Afro Samurai. Oh, Romeo X Juliet I've seen. Rosario plus Vampire.
That makes perfect sense.
Culture.
Strike Witches.
Yep, I know that one.
Let's see. More recent stuff. Kakuryo, Bed and Breakfast for the Spirits. I love that one. Hinomaru Sumo. Tri-Nights. I don't know as many of their recent works as I know some of their older stuff. I think the only thing
Yeah.
in the recent years that I know of theirs is Kakuryo. Yeah.
You know, some of those rung a bell, but I don't think I'd ever put their studio name to the anime.
Yeah.
Also, Kaleido Star. Yeah. I don't know. They're pretty interesting.
They got some recognizable names in there. At
Yeah,
least.
there's some big names. There's some fairly big names. I mean, the company was founded in 2000, and it's still running. So
I recognize a lot of those names. A lot of those names are stuff that was like, they were anime that everybody knew about from like when I first started hearing about anime.
Yeah.
well, also Hellsing.
And Hellsing.
Hellsing
Yeah.
is like probably like I'd say the biggest one that they have on there. Like at least the original 2001 version. Maybe next to like Strike Witches, because I know that one's like decently popular with like a certain crowd. So
Does anyone still talk about Rosario Vampire?
God.
Yes, we do.
Well, we do, but only because of the trauma.
People still talk about Rosario Vampire, just not fondly. It's
Yeah.
usually through nostalgia.
It's usually with rose-tinted
It's the
glasses.
same way that people talk about Vampire Night.
Yep.
Those tinted glasses, I talk about it with abject horror.
Nick Nack talks about it with blood-tinted horrors.
Blood-tinted horrors. That's not a vampire pun, by the way. Unless it is. So, I mean, this show, Vaughn, this is your show after all, so, I mean, did you kind of know what you were going into when you put this in the hat, or what were your thoughts on it in general?
I mean, I know what we're kind of getting into, but also, like, I really wanted to throw in, like, this very nice short series.
Yeah.
And this kind of seemed like the best opportune time to throw it in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit shorter than most animes are. I do, like, even though this is, like, an early 2000 show, I do kind of like it. It's got at least that almost, like, retro anime art style going for it with the characters.
Well, it also won awards in 2003 and 2005 for its animation as an OVA in the Tokyo Anime Awards.
Yeah.
And the manga is also won the Seiun Award for Best Japanese Long Work.
Nice.
Sorry, novel, not manga.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the... This show definitely surprised me with how good it was, all things considered. And also, like, the CGI, like, there were bits of it. It was not awful, mostly just because they used it smartly and used it for, like, the jets and things, and not for the characters, at least not in any significant capacity.
Also, while the show has one director, it's got 4 different producers who worked on different episodes and 6 different writers who worked on different episodes, and 3 different music designers who worked on different episodes. So none of these episodes are done by the exact same group of people.
Yeah.
They're all done by separate groups of producers, writers, and music directors, even though they're the same overall director, which is pretty interesting. I think they were fairly coherent for having change in production and writing between episode to episode.
I think that mostly could also be attributed, though, that they were working with a very large amount of source material for this as well, though, so...
Not really. There's only 4 total volumes in the novel series, and one or two of those came out after the anime did.
Well, but how big were those novels each?
Not large.
Were they like light novels, or were they like actual full-length novels?
They're a bit more full than light there, because like I would say that if you were to try to get the English version, they would be
no. No.
I'd say a little bit smaller than this.
No. So these volumes, all 4 of them, are just collections of short stories released as small paperbacks. They're released as bunkobon, not tanka.
Not tankobon.
Yeah.
Well, no, like if you got like the English versions right there.
Yeah, but
they did
in
combine
Japan.
them all
These
together.
are small paperbacks. 4 of them. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Just 4 small paperbacks.
And then that 4 you could read that in like one sitting, essentially.
Probably very easily. There's not a ton of. It's not a huge amount of source material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they actually did. So yeah, I think 6 episodes probably covered.
Well, and one of the volumes did come out after the anime series released. So
yeah, I think when I originally watched this, there were 3 books out, and then like eventually they released the last one.
Well, yeah, because the last one came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the first one was 1984.
But the third one came out in 1999, and then there was a 10-year gap before the 4th one came out.
Interesting.
That's a hell of a hiatus right there.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what else the author worked on during that time, if anything.
I can check.
Yeah.
I know the author. So the author is T.H.E. Kamabayashi.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Jesus.
A lot.
Yeah, but a lot of it's marked as short stories, and most of this does not have an English translation or a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Let's see. His most popular work is Yukikaze.
Yeah.
There's another, a lighter toned space opera he writes called Enemy is Pirate, which has 9 books as of 2013, but there was an animated video series released on it from 1989, so obviously it started much earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's won the Seiun Award 8 different times during his career.
Yeah.
And was the chairman of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of Japan for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like he writes a lot of short novels and like one-shots and stuff that then some of it gets gathered together and like released in bunkoban, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, though, the novel kind of, like, the 3 that I remember, because there was, like, you can't really find it, like, being still published in English today, if you can. Somebody did do a YouTube video and explained, like, what they actually were able to get, like, because they
Only
didn't do
the
it, yeah.
only the first 2 volumes were published into English by Viz Media.
Yeah.
The volumes 3 and 4 still haven't been officially published into
Yeah.
English.
It's a bit different, the novel, and also gets into a lot more explanation of certain things.
Well, the novel's a series of short stories. That makes sense because
Yeah.
they have to give explanation for as to all the different short stories. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a pretty big cast
Yeah.
Yeah.
across the 5 episodes, which
Yeah.
was nice.
And it was actually kept pretty constant, that cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice. Enjoyed that.
No. You don't get to get away with sitting there going,
What are your thoughts, Nick Nack?
I actually kind of didn't like this at all.
Ah.
I mean,
This felt a little too esoteric for me. It reminded me of my experience watching Garden of Sinners movie 1, where I get done with it, I'm just like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened.
Well, keep in mind, Earth was invaded through an interdimensional portal over Antarctica 33 years before the story takes place, and now they're all living on a planet named Fairy,
Yep.
and participating in the Fairy Air Force.
I legitimately didn't realize the base was on the planet Fairy until the base was abandoned in the last episode.
They told you that in, like, the first fucking episode!
It got lost amongst everything else, apparently.
Yep.
It does remind me a little bit of Stargate Atlantis.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All I could really piece together was that they were planes going in and fighting fake planes and an anus in the sky.
So Knick-Knack had a fever dream.
Yeah, this was basically, like he said, this was like watching Garden of Sinners without the context for him.
Yeah. I could kind of piece some of it together by the end, but I was like, what?
Most of it, you were just like eyes glazed over.
But what doesn't make sense about Faf versus Jam?
What?
Huh?
The Fairy Air Force versus
Yeah.
Jam. Jam
Oh.
is the name of the somewhat sentient
Oh,
aliens.
yeah.
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 AKA
What doesn't make
planes.
sense about Faf versus Jam?
Yeah, so like that's why I'm like being a little bit quiet here because I'm actually like, I'm actually interested to see what people were saying because I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You actually, I do understand because like this is very kind of subtle and sometimes it introduces its information, so you do want to watch it like maybe like 2-3 times to make sure you catch everything really.
Yeah, like, after watching it, I'm sure I'd catch a lot more. just knowing they're on Fairy the entire time.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's a fairy tale. So sorry.
Yeah.
SMH.
Better be.
SMH.
I would really like to actually see somebody really bring out both, well actually not both, probably all 4 novels like back in English. That would be very nice.
I would say, like I said, it reminds me of Stargate It reminds me of Stargate, and in particular, it reminds me of the there's a particular villain arc where in the villain of Stargate are these like nanobots.
Oh, the replicators.
The replicators.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the replicators because remember when they get to there's like times when they come across the planet where it's a planet of replicators, but they all look like perfect clones of human beings that all exist on Earth. And sentient alien race, etc. So it did remind me a lot of the replicators.
Yeah.
From Stargate and Stargate Atlantis especially because that's got the same base on another world, like not necessarily on Earth sort of vibe going.
Yeah.
And I do love me some Stargate.
Yeah. I honestly didn't really have anything to compare this to, so when I did watch it, it was kind of unique as far as things go for me. But my initial impression of it, as I thought that this was going to be kind of like a Top Gun Maverick-esque show, but I was like, by the end of it, I was like, oh yeah, this is not that, not in the slightest.
Yeah. If you like Top Gun Maverick, you might like this.
Yeah.
I think you would have liked Area 88 more based on Top Gun. Having
Did
seen
you not
Top
watch
Gun.
Area 88 with us?
Mm-mm.
I thought that was
Was
one of your
You
first
were there
ones
for
back.
Area 88.
Yeah.
It was the last episode of they were on that base in the fake version of the Middle East, taking down fighter jets for money.
It's been so long that I kind of just
Dude was blonde. His name was Shinji.
Oh, that one. Okay, there we go. That's that. There we go.
Kazuma.
Okay, I will.
Shin Kazuma, sorry.
Okay, yes. If you made the Shin Kazuma joke, then I would have remembered.
I did make the Shin Kazuma joke several
Yes.
times during the episode,
Yes. My name is Shin Kazuma.
which reminded me of both Kazuma and Shinji.
Get in the plane, Shinji.
Go, Shinji, get in the fighter jet. I think I always feel a little disjointed by short series. I think I generally expect my anime to be a little bit longer, even if it's only up to 12 episodes or something. So for me, whenever a series is particularly short or the episodes are on the shorter, or even if they're on the longer length but the series is still short, it feels a little strange.
Like you're just getting into it when it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
But I'm also not super used to OVAs unless
Yeah.
they're just capping off an actual anime series. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought it up earlier, but to me this felt like the episodes were much shorter, but it felt like a shorter version of Garden of Sinners as far as structure was.
Yeah.
well, the episodes weren't all that shorter. Some of them were longer.
Some of them were 40-something minutes, but others that were just barely longer than your average syndicated anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were only 5 of them. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, if you would please tell us about the release dates of each episode.
The first episode came out August 25th of 2002. The second one came out February 25th of 2003. The next one came out August 22nd of 2003, and then April 23rd of 2004, and August 26th of 2005.
Dang.
Yeah.
So there's 6 months to a year between every single release here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so each of these releases were quite staggered.
Yeah.
Although that kind of explains why, certain episodes kind of were their self-contained stories in themselves.
Yeah.
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 Self-contained story. It's more about the character. Even though I didn't understand most of it, I did catch that this series is less about the overarching story and more about the character of I don't remember his name and his state of mind as the story goes on. That much I could grab. That's the point of the series.
It reminded me a little bit of 86.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very. I mean, it's a military-based show, so there's going to be some similarities.
Yeah,
I
but
feel,
there's more
but-
similarities than just it being a military-based show.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
86, in my opinion.
Because you also have the psychological aspect right there,
Mhm.
which some military shows touch upon, some don't. It
Yeah.
really depends on
There's
which
also
one.
a somewhat sentient,
Somewhat
Foe.
sentient. Yeah.
that's definitely not human per se.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there is a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
I think the length of Area 86 did more for me and helped me more than this one did.
You mean Area 88?
Do you
Area 88.
mean 86 or Area 88?
86. I didn't. Area 88. I remember being a little bit lukewarm as well on.
Yeah.
Can you tell that military anime tend to not be my speed?
I don't know, Nick
yes.
Nack. I think I'm seeing a problem here where you are just unable to watch more than one of any genre.
No, I know. I think this is the one consistency with Nick Nack because he also didn't like Saga
No.
of Tanya the Evil,
I'm-
and that was very military tactics based, even though it was also a lot about Tanya's character.
And I didn't initially like the second half of 86 either.
Mm.
That wasn't the joke I was making. I was making a joke about him getting sick and tired of all of the transmigration novels I had him read.
Oh, that too.
Jeez, Nick Nack, it really feels like, when someone gives you more than one of anything.
I want to like it.
I mean, that's the whole point of this channel. Anyways.
Honestly, it's like the reverse. Like, I want to like a lot of these military anime. It's the reverse of the transmigration novels where I go into, like, I want to dunk on this for being the same thing over and over again, and then I actually kind of like most of them.
Well, according to a stream commenter, the point of this channel is apparently to be a book club for me and Nick Nack, and it hurts so much more when it comes from a live comment on stream, because that means that person just thought of that on the spot and did not have to spend 2 hours thinking of that zinger.
And then, like, I'm like, no, we're an anime channel. Oh, wait. We only put one podcast up every couple weeks about anime. We put like 2 to 4 off the shelves up every couple weeks.
This is basically just the Nick Nack and Seki book club.
Yeah. And also,
I have a choice commentary on that, but it would be too mean to say
You
on...
do realize your My Personal Content is technically a book club as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And remember, boys, you both have the autonomy and human decision-making skill to put up your own content.
Yeah. And
We
and I choose
recorded
not to.
yesterday, and I have sitting in the editing folder right now.
Yes, one video from Realm.
And I have scripted multiple extra videos, and I'm probably put up the second most personal content on this channel. And I put out the most solo content.
Nick Nack, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
Oh, you looked in our true general direction.
Well, yeah, because he's hidden behind the screen.
I'm hidden behind the screen.
okay.
Seki was very specifically looking at me.
I was
not
very
you.
specifically looking at Realm.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm busy?
So is Seki. Arguably.
Also, what is it? I mean, we do have the off the shelf between me and you, but we're waiting for that. So
It's already in the schedule to go up.
Yeah, we just have that
okay.
one specifically.
I thought you were waiting maybe for the.
We're waiting for a specific date, but
Okay.
technically our schedule is actually planned out till December.
Okay.
I'm actually 90% sure that one should be up by the time this episode goes up.
It might be.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know though, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
Actually, no, we don't have anticipation for those videos. It's a fucking Elden Ring manga review.
Well, but I mean, if it drops during the DLC time, it might get more
That's when it's
traction.
supposed to drop. I just
Yeah.
don't remember when that is and when this is going up.
It's
June
supposed to go up in
21st.
June 21st.
Yeah, well, I have
Well,
no clue.
as long as it drops in June, I think it'll be fine.
Well, now Peaches is now screaming for you. There you go.
Is it
Peaches is screaming for you.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so sorry, Peachy. He's
How
mean.
dare you reject that fat cat?
I reject all the cats here.
I know you do. How dare you, though?
It makes them want me more.
It really does.
It really does. It really does.
Stop chewing my sock.
She's not chewing on it. She's rubbing her chin on your sock to mark you as hers.
Yes, she must claim every single human that
Cats have scent glands on the bottom of their chin, and when they rub their chin up against you, the bottom of it means that they're claiming you as their human.
Yes.
Or one of their humans.
Yes, at
It's a
least.
sign of affection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she can claim you all you want.
She does claim me regularly.
Yep.
Animals do it all the time. That's why if you cuddle up against one animal, the other animals come around you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
She just wants some attention.
Mm-hmm. She's gotten plenty of it, but she wants some of it from you, Vorn.
No,
Right.
she senses that there are suckers in this room, Realm. Somebody want to elect to get us back on track?
What did you guys like the most about the anime? What scene?
I'll go first since I'm the one that liked the anime the least.
Yeah.
My favorite episode or collection of scenes was that one where they go check out that, I think it was an abandoned base, and the guy, I'm pretty sure was the implication that he was actually not a real person. Like one of the two people that went there. Wasn't that like one of the
Yeah.
titles that led them to figuring that out, that they could disguise as people?
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that because he was still... It grounded the enemy a little bit more. It was
Yeah.
like he felt guilt that he wasn't a real person.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite scene was actually in the first episode. Kind of similar to what Nick Nack was talking about, but it was the scene where the main guy with the black hair, he gets captured, essentially, and they're trying to nurse him back to health, and they're trying to figure out what the deal was with, like, the plane launch codes. It was the Yukikaze plane itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he shoots the one guy, basically the world starts to fall apart around him. And
Yep.
it's kind of just tells you a little bit like what the whole enemy is about and kind of like what they do. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to me. I like that scene.
Yep. A lot of psychological stuff.
Yep.
Mine was from episode 4. It's where they go back to Earth and they land on Admiral 56 to discover like how disconnected Earth is to what's actually happening out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was the nice drop off the deck of the carrier and go pew right to space. Yeah, that was an amazing scene.
Yeah.
I don't think we can have waifu wars. There's not
My
enough.
waifu is the fighter jet.
Yeah.
My
same.
waifu is Admiral 56.
Actually, in this anime, the fighter jet was actually kind of a character.
Yeah,
yeah.
he was.
Yeah, honestly, that my waifu was also the fighter jet.
Yeah, fighter jet. There's just no argument.
There's no question.
Mine's Admiral 56.
You're the odd one out here, Seki.
Hey, everyone loves a good aircraft carrier.
Yeah, but like to piggyback on like that on Sekhmet's comment about like how like dissociated people were like from the battle that was actually happening. You can actually see that in modern day as well, and like a lot of other wars, and for both years where like psychological actually happens, you do see that as well, just not that much and not that much talked about. So yeah. So this was a nice commentary about, well, current wars for that time and possibly even future ones.
Yeah. Do we have any thoughts on the opening and ED?
There was an opening.
For at least the second OVA, there was.
I vaguely remember, but I don't remember there being an opening. I vaguely remember there being something, but I didn't remember if it was a full opening or if it was
Man,
just
Nick, you just were not. You were just not mentally present for this
It was
show.
like 3 weeks
So
ago.
the series has an official ending theme. It's called RTV
Yeah.
by Monsieur Kamayatsu. I don't know about the opening.
I vaguely remember it,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
like it's also kind of like distant for me as well.
Yeah.
So
They kind of don't matter.
they kind of don't, especially with like how spaced out the rest of the show was over the course of its runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah.
It does have a spin-off show.
Oh.
Fighting Fantasy Girl Rescue Me Maeve-chan.
What?
Ha.
Yeah, in 2018.
Huh.
I did not know that. Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay then. All right, that
Wow.
exists.
It sounds
I
like a
guess.
magical girl show.
Yeah.
It does sound like a magical show. Well, let me...
So let's find out. I'm mildly curious.
Yeah, now I have to learn this. Oh my. Yeah, that looked like Magical Girl.
You know, I can actually kind of
Hold on. You gotta hear the plot summary here. 17-year-old Rei Sugiyama wins a ticket to an anime convention in Tokyo with Yukikaze and Stratos 4 as its headliners. Upon arriving, he enters the men's room only to find himself transported into the planet Fairy, where he encounters the fighting fairies Maeve, Super Self, and Sylphide. There, Rei also learns that the surrounding and the characters are figments of imagination from anime fans, but now the fairies must protect him from the jam and the monster known as the Forgetter while fearing for their existence due to the changing interests of fans.
The hell?
It's just one episode, 30 minutes.
And this is a spin-off in
Yeah.
the same universe. What the
Yeah.
I mean, they
fuck?
took the enemy
the
concept.
hell?
I can kind of see that. The enemy concept makes sense for a magical girl.
Jam's still there, Fairy's
Yeah.
still there, Yukikaze is literally a thing. It's an isekai.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
All
Yeah.
the planes are actually people. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Damn. I don't know, we got anything else?
No, not really, and I kind
Recommendations?
of already talked about my recommendations, so...
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, I'll just make my recommendation. Like, even though it's a little bit different, but it's still within the military genre, is definitely Saga of Tanya the Evil. It's very character focused, even though it does talk a lot about military tactics and kind of it's more of a mixture of World War I and World War II era type stuff. So it's different, but I'd say it's still a recommendation if you like this show.
I'm not someone you want to talk to about the military genre.
Yeah.
I really got nothing. This is a quite unique show. So yeah.
Go watch Stargate Atlantis.
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right. Well,
So I suppose I'll announce our next anime.
Yeah.
Just make sure that when you're watching, you turn the lights on in the room and don't sit too close to the TV. We're watching Fairy Tale.
All right. Time to get the hammer. Put it to my head. Bonk.
Grand Magic Games episodes 163 to 182, which is the second part of this arc that is 3 parts.
all right, well, if that's all we have for today, remember to try harder, everyone.
Yep.
No, please don't. Please don't for this.